Investment in infrastructure development is a key sector is the economy that the Ministry of Power, Works and Housing, Trade and Investment say remain critical to support the nation economy. Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde FASHOLA, said the need to enable distribution of excess 2,000 megawatts of power generation capacity. Our correspondent, FASHOLA Adegoke, tells us more in this report.
The need to have a stable and cheap electricity has been one of the major problems that have mitigated against the industrialization of Nigeria. The Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde FASHOLA, says this present administration recognizes that electricity is key to national and economic development. Hence, the need for more investments in power distribution.
The place where investment is most urgently needed is at the distribution level. And I have made this case that the structure of the sale that was undertaken was 60% to private, 40% of the discos, except Yola, which was handed down, belongs to government, state, federal, and local government, and the workers. And so there will be nothing wrong if federal government, state government, and local government invest in the distribution equipment as shareholders of those companies that the power companies need to take capacity.
Ministers of different ministries speaking at the Direct Investment Summit Nigeria 2018 say the economic recovery and growth plan of President Muhammadu Buhari administration has successfully driven the nation out of recession and currently developing the nation's GDP for a prosperous economy.
The launching or the establishment of the Nigeria Industrial Policy and Competitiveness Advisory Council. That council has been working on critical areas that will help industrialization, from critical infrastructure to access to financing at competitive rates, to skills and vocational training, skills acquisition and vocational training, to trade and market access, and to policy.
We are in a better place today than when we came in as an administration. But we are not where we want to be. The growth is still too slow. We want to ramp up growth. Our target for this year is 3.5%. Our target by 2020 is 7%.
We should go private sector and perhaps the PPP option. And we developed that roadmap around that vision and thoughts. And we created the roadmap to concession our airports, give it to private sector, so that because also in politics we're social democrats in nature, we feel that we should not cede the asset to private hands. We should retain the asset, meanwhile allow the private sector to run it.
The national budget for roads was under 20 billion and only 9 billion had been paid. Of course, the consequence is that contractors stop work. They laid off workers, they shut down machines. So the demand for petroleum products, demand for tires, demand for labor, that was the prognosis for recession. And that was what we reset by budgeting for works 300 billion and spending about 260 billion under the 2016 budget. What that meant simply was that lost jobs returned.
This present administration met an economy in decline, but through its strategic implementation plan, the outcomes are recorded in improved business climate, from 170th position on World Bank Ease of Doing Business to 145th position, and a GDP growth rate of 1.95 in 2018 first quarter. FASHOLA Adegoke, Core TV News, Abuja.